Hey guys, I'm about to hit the stage. I'm here at a winery called Kill and Curly Winery in Plant City. I'm about to go on in about 10 minutes here. You guys know I always do things last minute, so I better get ready. But just want to share some tips with you about playing live. I'm having one of their beers, by the way. This is the Pecan Brown Ale. It's my pre-show beer, delicious stuff. And I'm really not sure why I'm filming this in the rain. So anyway, let's get to the tips here.
Hey, now the times are changing. Look at everything that's coming on. Sometimes I still play that old 6 string. Think about you, wondering what went wrong. Standing on your mama's porch, you told me that it lasts forever. Oh, when you held my hand, I knew that it was now or never. It was one of the best days of my life. Oh, yeah. Back in the summer of '69. It was the summer of '69. Oh, yeah. Back in the summer of '69.
Thank you guys, appreciate it. Hi guys, my name is Jason Stallworth. I'm going to be playing some 70s and 80s for you for the next few hours until 4 p.m. Just want to say I'm glad to have everyone out today. Thank you for coming. You could be anywhere, but you chose to come here. By the way, they're Pecan Brown Ale. That is an awesome beer, so give that a shot.
The first tip is actually from my wife, and this is for those venues where you're playing at for the first time. Before gig day or gig night, make sure you go scope out that place first. In other words, you want to know what the stage setup's like or the area that you're going to be playing in. The last thing you want is to get there the day or night of your gig and be like, oh, this is where I'm playing this space, how am I going to put this together? Or the stage is over here, or something awkward's going on, so you kind of have to rearrange in your head how things will be set up. If you already know that ahead of time and kind of scope that out prior to your actual gig day, that's going to make things a lot smoother. Now, the second thing is the owner or the manager, whoever you're talking to, they will greatly appreciate your work ethic, your attention to detail, and the fact that you care enough to go out there and just scope out the place. A few weeks ago, I played at a venue that I'd never played at before. This was the Lakeland Brass Tap, the Lakeside Village Brass Tap in Lakeland, Florida. And as you can see here, the stage is kind of small and it's kind of an awkward position here. So showing up beforehand gave me those ideas on where things would be placed versus getting there on gig day and kind of, fumbling over where am I going to put this? This is kind of weird, and trying to figure everything out before the show. You don't want that extra stress before the show. And we'd actually been there before to have some craft beers, but I'd never played there before. I kind of remembered what the stage looked like, but it had been so long since we'd been there. So my wife's like, hey, let's go check this out. We've got a friend that lives out there. It's about 35 minutes from where I live. So we went and checked out the stage and the setup and all, and the manager was there, and she was very appreciative that we came out to do that. She's like, no musician has ever done this, so she was just surprised that we showed up. Of course, had a few brews, and that just really established a healthy relationship between me and the venue. And I'm going to be playing there now on a regular basis.
If you're feeling kinda low about the dues you've been paying, you just coming much too slow. And you wanna run, but somehow you just keep on staying. Can't decide which way to go. I understand about indecision. I don't care if I get left behind. People are living in competition. All I want is to have my peace of mind.
Tip number 2, and by the way guys, these are just my personal tips. You can take it or leave it. I hope they help you. That's why I'm putting this video out there. But tip number 2, for me, I like to be at the venue an hour and a half before showtime. Like that's the latest I want to be there, okay? I want to give myself, I know with my gear it takes a solid 45 minutes to set up, okay? So sometimes I can get it knocked out in 30, like this particular venue I'm sharing with you today at Kill and Curly here. I had everything set up within 30 minutes. It's a pretty big stage, and for some reason larger stages, it just takes me less time because I've got more space to work with, whereas sometimes at smaller venues it seems to take me more time. It's kind of weird. But regardless of the venue, I like to be there an hour and a half early. That way I know max 45 minutes to set up. That's going to give me also another 45 minutes to kind of just wind down and relax, and maybe I want to go talk to some of the staff, the bartenders, the manager, whatever. Maybe I want to go talk to some of the folks that showed up to my gig. I've been getting a lot of people from my YouTube channel, so guys, thank you so much for coming to my live acoustic shows. I really appreciate it. I'm blown away by that. So that's been happening quite frequently. So thank you. But I like to go out there and I like to chat with folks and just kind of relax before I hit the stage. Now, on that note, make sure you set up first, okay? You don't want to chat and then set up, because if you're like me, I could sit there and talk to you all day, and before you know it, it's like, oh crap, I've got to go on in 10 minutes. I better set up, and that's not going to happen. So yeah, set up first, then give yourself that breathing room to chat with folks and just relax, maybe have a beer. I always like to have one pre-beer before my shows. Kind of helps unwind a little bit.
She said that the heart will need a rescue. Waiting on love, sweet charity. And I'm gonna hold on for the rest of my days. 'Cause I know what I need to walk along the lonely street of dreams. Here I go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. I made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time.
Now this next tip is going to be a touchy one for us musicians. We want to be heard. We want our talent to be front and center, but guys, you've got to make sure that you're not too loud, that you're not just blowing the audience away. Here's the thing, if you were playing in a rock or metal band or something like that and people are there, to hear that, well, that's a different story. But we're talking about more intimate gigs here. Even if there's a lot of people, we're talking about solo acoustic gigs, or if you play keyboards and singing, even if it's maybe 2 or 3 of you, we're talking about playing at places for 3 to 4 hours where people are coming into the venue. Yes, they appreciate the music, but they also want to be able to have a conversation amongst themselves. And actually, this particular gig here at Keel and Curly, it's been noted that a few musicians there have been too loud. It's actually been a complaint. Of course, I had the conversation with my booking agent, Todd at Cool Management, which, Todd, if you're watching this, thank you so much. I appreciate everything you've done for me. But, he had the conversation with all of the musicians just to let them know, hey, if they ask to turn it down, just, please work with them. Which, guys, that's another thing. Be easy to work with. Period. I mean, that's kind of a tip within this tip, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next tip. But, understand that people aren't necessarily there to see you. Now, of course, some people show up to support you. That's great. But the majority of people at these breweries and bars and wineries, yeah, they appreciate the music. But if they can't have the conversation amongst themselves because the music is too loud, they're going to get annoyed no matter how good you are, okay? So, some practical tips, okay? So look at the way my speakers are set up. Now, this is a big stage, so this is kind of easy to do. I'll give you a tip for a smaller stage here, but you can see, first of all, my speakers are pretty far back off the end of the stage there. I don't have them front and center. I also have the advantage of this stage being pretty high up, so I'm going to further that advantage by making sure my speakers are high. What this does, this prevents your sound from just blasting people in that front row and those first few tables there. Those are the people that it's going to impact the most. But because of the speaker placement, and I've tested this at several gigs, okay, it makes a huge difference. Because my speakers are back and they're up higher, I'm already taking advantage of the high stage. The sound is traveling out there. It's not necessarily blasting those people at those first few tables. Now, if you're playing at a smaller venue, and I play at several smaller venues, actually the one I shared with you earlier at Brass Tap, that's a smaller stage. The one you see right now, this is at Bootleggers Brewing. There's actually no stage at all here, so it's just, you're just on the floor. So what I do is I try to still, push my speakers back as far as I can, and of course I raise them up fairly high. Now my volume obviously in a place like this is going to be a lot lower. The bigger stage, of course, I've got the volume turned up a bit more, but again, remember, I've got the stage height advantage, so I've got even more height, and I've got more room to place my speakers back a little further off the stage. It's all about not blowing those people away this right there, because here's the thing, guys. A lot of the folks that show up at these types of gigs, they're there for themselves, not necessarily for you. You have to remember, and I know this is like an ego buster for us, like, well, of course they came to see me, Yes, you have your crew that comes to support you. And again, for you guys supporting me that show up at my live gigs, thank you. I really appreciate that. But you have to understand that majority of people that go to these places, they go there to have a good time. The music is like a secondary bonus, okay? But they still want to have their conversations and drink beer, and they don't want to be overpowered by your music for the most part in most cases.
Keep looking for something I can't get. Broken hearts lie all around, and I don't see an easy way to get out of this. The darkness sits by the bedside table, curtains are closed, the gas in the cradle. Who would have thought that a boy like me could do this? Oh, I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Oh, I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been somebody good. I should have walked away. I should have walked away.
My next tip is engage with the crowd as much as you possibly can without overdoing it, if that makes sense. Remember what we said earlier, the majority of people, they're not really there for you. Yeah, they may, okay, well, I enjoy the music and that sort of thing. That's great and all, but they're really there for themselves, to have a good time, to have food, drinks, whatever. So you want to engage without overdoing it, and the best way to do that is simply ask, are there any birthdays or, whatever, any engagements, anything like that. So I'll share a quick example with you, and this is from my Keel and Curly gig here.
Real quick, if anyone has any birthdays or celebrating weddings or divorce parties, that's a thing too. So if you guys have, just come up and let me know, and you can sing with me actually if you want to do that. So this is for Carol. Carol is 22, right? Or 21?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Carol. Happy birthday to you.
All right, happy birthday, girls. Those roaring 20s are so cool, man. I remember those days.
So we got some chuckles out of that, and of course, people love to be acknowledged, guys. We're created that way. Most people, we want our names out there. We want people to care about us, right? If it's our birthday, you want your friends to do that for you. Even when people say, no, I don't want you to do anything, deep down, they don't mean that. They do want you to do something. So as a musician, as a solo artist there, it's a good idea to engage with them. Hey, are there any birthdays or anything like that going on? You will get requests from time to time as well. That, I'll be honest with you, is not my strong suit. I stick to a very specific genre, and I don't really care to travel too far outside of that. So this is just kind of a quick tip for engagement. If people ask you to play a song and you don't know that song, or maybe it's a song that you just don't like, and you're just not going to play it, don't tell them you don't like the song. Say, look, I've got something very similar. Can I play this for you instead? And of course, they're still going to tip you and all that stuff. Well, that's fine. So that's just kind of a side note when it comes to engagement, because you will get requests from time to time. This final tip is the absolute best tip that I can give you. It will almost guarantee that you always have a gig at this establishment, okay? Now, remember, I think I talked earlier about, making sure that you build that relationship with the owner and or the manager and the staff as well, the bartenders, the waiters and waitresses. So the best thing that you can do is, before you start the show, ask whoever's in charge, say, hey, is there anything that you'd like me to promote while I'm on stage? Maybe I do that between every fourth or fifth song or something like that. First of all, they're not going to expect that, because most musicians, they don't do that. Most musicians, they just get up there and they just want to play their music and, and be heard and be praised and all that, and then get paid and walk away. Well, you've got to go, or you should. I'm recommending that you take that extra step, guys, and show that you care. Show that you're grateful to be there, because look, they could be hiring someone else instead of you, okay? So in the case here, you heard the beginning of the video after that first clip of that first song in the beginning, where I talked about the beer. I think it was a Pecan Brown Ale.
By the way, their Pecan Brown Ale, that is an awesome beer, so give that a shot.
I said that several times. I promoted that beer, because actually I like it. It's very good. But I promoted that beer probably every fifth to seventh song. I'd say, hey guys, and if you haven't had this beer yet, that's awesome. There's some other times, and I wish I would have caught this on film, but other times I would look around and see what people were eating, and I would call it out. I'm like, that spicy chicken sandwich looks awesome. And you're making it about, yes, they're customers, you're engaging with them, but you're also promoting the brand, you're promoting the business that's paying you to be there. So this is one of those little extra things that will go a long way. Trust me. Just ask, hey, is there a beer or wine I can promote during the show, or is there any events coming up? Just let me know. Sometimes, well, oftentimes they're going to be like stumbling, like, I didn't even think about that. They're going to be shocked that you're asking that, and they're going to be thinking, okay, this is an A-plus person. This is a person I want to do business with, because they care. So guys, I get chill bumps thinking about it. Ooh, and it's not even cold in here. Yeah, they're real chill bumps. But that's how powerful this stuff is, guys. This is how powerful it is to just show that you care. And this is going to help you build your brand as a solo gigging artist. So take that to heart.
In the dark, I like to read his mind. All the things I might find. Oh, there must be something he's thinking of, tearing away. When I tell him that I'm falling in love, what is he say? Keep it down now, voice is scary. Hush, hush, keep it down now, voice is scary.
So guys, leave me any questions in the comments. If you have questions about playing live, if there's some things that you need help with, just leave a comment below. You guys know I do my best to respond to you. But this is a new journey for some of you, so you'll have questions, and for others, look, you can always learn new things. I do this every weekend practically now. I learn something new every time I step on stage, and of course we learn from each other. I learn from other musicians. Starting to meet more musicians around my area that play live, and we're actually helping each other out. I'm telling these guys, hey, I'm playing over here, I'll talk to them about you, and then so we're just kind of building our own network here. And guys, don't forget to check the description, the links in the description of this video. I've got some cool stuff down there for you, so check that out. And guys, until the next video, well, I usually say keep it metal, but we're kind of just keeping it laid back and acoustic today.